Welcome one, welcome all. It is a new, beautiful week, and this is another episode of Spring Fever. As always, it's me, XFL Jim, joined by the one, the only, the immeasurable, the unsurmountable, the inescapable Uncle Rico. What is up, Eric?
Nothing, man. Just loving this midweek action. Looking forward to some CFL playoffs, and snowing here in Chicago. What more could you ask for?
It snowed here in Nebraska last weekend. I had a power outage of 2 hours last night for Halloween. I had a nice little 2 hour power outage when it was, 14 degrees outside.
God, dude, it makes you feel alive, doesn't it?
I did feel alive for a second. But before we get into anything, Spring Fever is, as always, brought to you by Royal Retros. Go over to royalretros.com, your one-stop shop for all the best kind of sports merch. They have your basketball, they have your football, they have your baseball. I'm sure somewhere deep down in the crevices they have rugby. And when you go over there, make sure you use promo code SPRINGFEVER, all one word, for 10% off at checkout. Eric! Nice show today. We have a good show for the people. Nice, streamlined. We're going to talk what we would hope to see out of whatever announcement that seems to maybe be happening next week. That's like the whole thing with all of this XFL USFL merger talk. It's always been, what do we want to see from what might happen?
Yeah.
Nothing is guaranteed to happen, and we're not guaranteed to see anything if it does happen.
It just seems to me like, you may not know this about me, Jim, but I'm a very organized and detailed person.
I could tell.
And if I was a player, this would be driving me living hell.
So actually, Eric, there was a player that shared some text messages. I believe he plays for the XFL. I didn't see the actual player's name, but there were some text messages that got sent out that looks like 4 XFL teams are going to be in this new league.
Only 4?
Which, if it is 12, that means that all 8 USFL teams are staying. Eric, you did posit the idea that it's probably, there's a decent chance it might just be 8 teams.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, then there'd also be 4 USFL teams. Speculate with me if we are going to 8, which I would absolutely hate and despise. If we go to 8, what 4 teams are we keeping for each league? What if Eric is the czar of spring football? What 4 teams? But you still have to keep 4 from each league. You still have to make an 8-team league. What 4 are you keeping?
Cost efficient is going.
I assume you're scrapping Seattle.
Unfortunately, we're going to scrap Seattle,
which sucks because I love Seattle. I love the Dragons and I love the Sea Dragons, but they're so much further away than everybody.
If the USFL, obviously Birmingham.
God, I feel like they're in no matter what.
Michigan,
especially now because I believe it was 2 weeks ago that they got confirmation that they did get renewed for Ford Field.
Yep.
So, definitely.
I think they'll probably end up keeping Memphis.
I could see it.
Because I think they're just going to try to get the Heartland. You know what I mean? Not have anything severely.
I don't think they want anything I don't think they want the coast. And obviously, They don't want anything west of the frickin' Mississippi.
west of the Dixie.
West of the Missouri. Who's your 4th for the USFL?
I want to say.
Do you just keep one of the Canton teams and rename them?
I want to say the Maulers. But you're right. They'll probably rename a franchise and put in Canton, so everything's Canton right there. And
the Canton Bulldogs.
And, Memphis, and then Birmingham. And then in terms of the XFL, I think the XFL is going to have a strong Texas base.
So you would keep, I assume, are you keeping all three Texas teams?
Yeah.
You're keeping all three. You're keeping San Antonio, Arlington, Dallas, and
Yeah.
Houston.
Houston and then DC.
St. Louis?
Oh fuck, I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot St. Louis.
Yeah, get rid of San Antonio and give me St. Louis. Yep.
That sucks for San Antonio. I feel like if this kills San Antonio's franchise, I feel like San Antonio's done with any other like spring leagues after if this doesn't work out for them.
Oh, they're 100% done.
Because they actually, like, as bad as the Brahmas were this year, they had decent fan showing. I think they were number 3 behind DC and St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And their team was dog shit. Like, we talked about it all year, how bad like that team was putting out on offense.
Mm-hmm.
It was awful.
It was brutal, dude.
I think if you have to keep 4 from each league, I think that's the way you go. So you go Roughnecks over Gamblers for Houston?
Yeah.
I think so too. So something I've seen, and at least maybe it's just the USFL community that I've seen. The XFL community can be really annoying too, but what I've seen is the USFL community seems to like put an overconfident amount of emphasis on like the nostalgia factor of the USFL.
Okay.
I think the USFL of the 80s has nothing to do with this current iteration.
Oh, it's a brand new product. 100%.
Couldn't be further away. And I think when people think about it, they don't even, like, in modern day, they don't even think about the 80s USFL.
No.
It's completely different.
But everyone watched that little bit of nostalgia.
True, but I feel like maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I'm younger, and obviously I didn't grow up in the 80s. I didn't see the original USFL as it was happening. Mm-hmm. People of my generation, I feel maybe have more nostalgia for the XFL because that was a thing when we were young. That was like the new fun league. Like, that's what we always remember. The XFL's been in the quote unquote zeitgeist or like in my brain since I was 6.
I mean, but you're right. It kind of depends like how old you are and what you kind of relate to when you were younger and everything like that. XFL, yeah, I mean, I get it. It just, a new league coming back is always going to kind of get the nostalgia era of everybody, though. That's the thing.
It's true. Other than that, what do you want to see out of this potential announcement, Eric? Because there's obviously 2 big things that I want to see.
I want to see start date and teams.
So, yeah, sorry, 3 for me then, because start date would be massive. Teams, and then it sounds like if they do them, hubs. I want to see where they're putting the teams.
Well, if they do hubs, I mean, I think that's pretty. I mean, hypothetically, let's say they do hubs. I mean, Birmingham, Houston.
St. Louis, Michigan, Memphis. And then, well, they do 6 hubs, so they'd probably keep Canton, right?
Yeah.
So Canton, Birmingham, Michigan, Memphis, St. Louis, and then one of the Texas ones. So it's either, I would assume, Dallas at that point.
Yeah.
Or Houston. I don't know. Like you could realistically choose any of the 3. Again, every time we talk about it, I'm probably going to reiterate, I hate that you're ripping teams away that were in markets. That's got to sting.
Yeah, it just got it. It sucks, dude. It absolutely sucks just because.
When would you think they'd put a start date on, by the way? Like, when do you think they put the start date?
Yeah.
Because I'm of the mind, I actually don't think they're playing, they're combining next year.
You think they aren't?
I don't think so. Right now, it feels so late in the game to start. If they start in May, they'd be ending like, they'd be going into like the NFL and everything.
No, they wouldn't. If the week
so if they start in May, when did the USFL start? In April, and went to July 4th.
Yeah.
So you go 10 weeks. If they start the first week of May, let me go to May. So if they start the first weekend in May, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10, 2 weeks for playoffs. Okay, so July 27th.
Perfect.
That's brutal for Texas.
Why? Oh
In
yeah.
the middle of the summer?
Come on, man. Don't be
What?
soft.
I would say why not let both leagues play out this year and then do it in 2025. Get a full year of like everything.
But but they already announced the merger. I think since they already announced the
That's
merger,
true.
all rolling.
God, that seems like such a late start date. When do players start trying to go like join NFL teams?
Yeah, that's true. So
Because I
maybe
thought like that was a big benefit I thought for the XFL.
and move it up a month then.
So basically, when the USFL starts, usually like sometime in April,
Yeah, do it then.
like just do the USFL season.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
I wouldn't hate it. I like the February start, but I get it because also you're still going up against March Madness.
Yeah, you don't want to compete against that because
Those weeks did hurt the XFL. I'm not gonna lie, they did hurt.
I
Other
mean,
bit of
if I'm honest, like for this league to 100%, if they want this league to be like just in it, we've kind of seen if we look at the okay, let's look at football, let's look at basketball, let's look at baseball, hockey, hell, even effing NASCAR.
yeah.
What if all those and all of them are doing great? People are watching except for MLB. And why is the reason? Well, basketball, hockey, NFL, they've all kind of got in bed with gambling, got in bed with fantasy football, got in bed with all that stuff. Baseball hasn't, and you can kind of see it. It's just people aren't watching. People watch football because of the betting, because of the fantasy. NBA numbers are up because of that. You want to have, so if I'm what call it league, whatever, give me a name.
Just you call it spring league. Just call it.
If
Spring
I'm
league
spring league, what I do is the first thing I do is I call the Paul brother has like a ghetto prize picks type fantasy bet site. I would
Oh,
get
they do?
him. Yeah, no, but like I would get him. It's like BetQR.
Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
So why not have like those guys? Hey, do this. You know, we'll have The Rock come on your thing once a week, once a month. You know what I mean? Like because the younger generation is into that. They have those two twins that played on Miami. They do something there. Kelly in Vegas does something there. Just kind of get in bed with them. And then you kind of get like the prize pick.
I was gonna say, do you think like so like obviously I don't know if you'd get like a DraftKings sponsorship or something like that, like how the NFL has. What if you did something with maybe like an underdog or a prize picks?
Yeah, something like that. Well, prize picks already is pretty big. Like it would
Prize
have
picks
to
and
be
underdog both are pretty big.
like a sleeper.
Yeah.
Something like sleeper. Something like Thrive Fantasy. Use promo code TOFT21 for 100% deposit match.
There you
go. Just something like that. Like or like BetQR is basically one of those. But I mean, the thing with BetQR is it has one of the Paul brothers. You get the younger generation watching. If you get younger people in the seats, that's the thing you want.
Yeah, and then it's a fine line to walk too, like how the XFL broadcasts in this year in 2023 we're going really hard promoting like the gambling angle and things like that. But when they do it, they have people that don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. But I mean, like, those guys could film like a little segment. Like you see on Red Zone, at the end of Red Zone, Scott Hansen has his little Red Zone parlay. That could be it. It could be like, okay, this player over, this player under, kind of stuff like that. I don't understand. Like, partner up with BetQR, do that. Like, why doesn't the CFL have a site where it does that with?
I feel like there might be some different regulations in Canada. I don't know. Canada's got some weird stuff going on, so I don't know what they're doing. But if this, I would assume you'd want this new league to get some sort of gambling incentive going on.
And then after you get the gambling stuff, then you can get the people there, and it's just going to go from there. Like, it just opens everything up. Like, gambling's legal, embrace it, let it help grow it. That, like, I think that's a big thing. Number two, whatever network it's on, there has to be promote the living F out of it.
Oh, for sure. Which
Um,
I think Fox will be the main contributor here. So they do a good job. Like Fox did this last year. I thought Fox did a better job with the USFL, but they need to promote the fuck out of it.
promote, they have all those stupid Fox Sports 1 shows, which
Why not? Yeah, why not do a show specifically for this new thing?
or
Especially
just
since it's
have like those guys like have a weekly appearance by somebody. You know what I mean? Like if you have 8
especially
to 12 teams, it should be easy to get one player, one coach from a team that does well to come on one of those shows.
especially when the league would be going on, whether it's in February or whether it starts in April, it's during the dead period where there's no real other sports going on.
Yeah. So I mean that's something that's doable, but I just don't think that I think they look at it like this, and this is going to sound awful, and you're going to hate me for saying this.
Lay it on.
I kind of think part of them is with what's happening with the television market, everything going to streaming. They're looking to create stuff to fill in streaming hours, and the production of professional live sports doesn't cost as much as other things. And
So that means they just don't need to promote it then? They just kind of have it there.
I just don't really care, and they just kind of have it there, and they have like fill in stuff because they're trying to fill the hours.
Is it cheaper for live sports productions is that cheaper though? Because Fox, if for like the USFL, Fox is still like pumping out everything. Like they own everything for the league. Is that cheaper than just having a TV show?
Yeah, but I mean, like, so let's say, yeah, oh yeah, by far, because you have like a smaller crew. Like when you have a TV show, you have all
but like something like the USFL or like Fox does it. Fox is paying not just the crew for the like going to the game. They're paying the players. They're paying everything.
I'm just talking the production value. I think. Like
yeah, but like it depends. It depends. Like I guess for ESPN, yeah.
Yeah.
But for
ESPN and NBC, yeah.
Yeah, but like if you're the production team that like I assume if it is going to be Fox, they own the whole league. They're still fronting the bill for everything.
Yeah, then you want to do this to get the revenue then.
Because that like if you're doing it like that, it can't be cheaper. I know there've been some talks about like potentially trying to get franchises and whatnot. But I don't like if we're not even in home markets yet. If we're still doing hubs, that's a ways down the road.
Mm-hmm. Oh, big ways.
Yeah. Eric, other spring football news. I just thought you'd get a little kick out of this one. In the AFL Arena Football League, so they have the Nashville Cats. They just got a new chief advisor. One Jeff Fisher.
Shut up.
Yeah, baby. Jeff Fisher in the Arena Football League is the chief advisor for the Nashville Cats. That's Cats with a K.
Shut up.
Yep.
That's Jesus.
Jeff Fisher is the chief advisor of the Nashville Cats.
Jeez.
Oh, wait, one sec. Late Titans owner Bud Adams owned the Cats in their second stint. Okay, so never mind. This is something else. This is yeah, he's here. We'll get more like team names and whatnot from the Arena League as time goes on. They're apparently also starting next year.
Okay.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Eric, the last week of the CFL is behind us. Week 21. We'll just go through the scores real quick. Winnipeg 36, Calgary 13, Hamilton 20, Montreal 22, and Toronto 27, Ottawa 22. None of these games mattered.
Disappointing.
And when we did the show last week, we couldn't even get lines on them, so we couldn't I don't know. I didn't end up betting any of them.
Which sucked because they didn't know who was playing. I mean,
But Eric, we have the picture of the CFL playoffs laid before us. I want an Uncle Rico prediction of how the playoffs unfold, and then I'll give mine. Oh, before we do that, though, we have a question from DeMarcus Coolers. Do we know how much was bet on both leagues during the seasons? Are numbers like that available? I wonder.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know how you would find those numbers because I don't think stuff like that is publicly available.
I mean, I could DM Dave.
You could DM Dave and see how much it was on Bet Online, but I feel like every sportsbook would have to share that.
Yeah.
Oh, Alex has a question for you, Eric. WNBA or CFL?
CFL.
At CFL all day. So, Eric, lay before me your picture of the CFL playoffs and how it ends up. So we have the Ticats versus the Alouettes. Winner of that game goes on to face Toronto. Winner of that one goes on to the Grey Cup. Then we have Calgary versus BC. Winner of that one goes on to face Winnipeg. Winner of that one goes to the Grey Cup. Eric, how is this unfolding?
All right. So this week we have, I think this week kind of holds form, but no, I should take that back. I think Hamilton's going to win that game against Montreal.
Okay. So far, I think in that entire series, until last week, I think the road team had won every time they played this entire year until the last week of the year. So that would check out.
So I'm going to go that. And the other
then
one, I'll take BC.
Take BC all the time. So what about in the next round? So
the
then
next round,
you got Hamilton versus Toronto. Alex is calling Toronto to the ship. But then you have Hamilton versus Toronto and BC versus Winnipeg.
Well, I mean, I'll take Toronto and I'll take BC. I'll take BC.
Oh, you're going to take BC in the upset.
Yep.
So BC versus Toronto in the Grey Cup. Who you got winning it all?
Taking the BC Lions.
Woo! I feel like in that scenario, Hamilton fans will also be rooting for BC because it would be objectively hilarious to me if Toronto won a Grey Cup when the Grey Cup's in Hamilton.
That would be kind of funny.
I would love it. I'd love that.
Would be funny.
My prediction, Hamilton's going to go on a heater here.
Oh, Jimmy.
Hamilton upsets. They beat Montreal. They upset Toronto. You get Hamilton in the Grey Cup. Calgary, BC. BC wins that one. BC loses a close one to Winnipeg. Rematch from, I think, 3 years ago. Hamilton versus Winnipeg. Winnipeg gets it done.
You're calling the bounce back?
I'm calling the bounce back. I'm calling the bounce back. But before that, let's narrow our view, Eric. Let's look at the week that is here. We have 2 games to handicap. Starting off Saturday, both games Saturday. It's going to be a very busy Saturday in the garage. Hamilton Ticats head over to the Montreal Alouettes. The Alouettes are minus 3.5 at home with an over-under of 48, plus 150 on the money line for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Well, I definitely think points are going to be a premium at this game. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. Hard for me to trust Cody Fajardo. Did I pronounce that right?
Cody Fajardo.
I like Hamilton here. I like their defense. I think they're going to be able to move the ball. I'll take them. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think this is going to come down to a last second field goal.
I don't want to touch the total, but I will back you on Hamilton plus 3.5, and I will also sprinkle a little bit on that plus 150 money line.
Dude, look at Jimmy, Look at Jimmy getting a little invested.
The night game. Saturday night. Calgary Stampeders against the BC Lions. BC are a 7-point home favorite with an over-under set at 50, plus 250 on the money line for the Stamps.
I hate laying big points, but if I were to lay big points, I definitely lay big points with BC here.
It's the playoffs, Eric. I'm going to be betting every game in the playoffs. Give me BC minus the 7. I don't trust the Stamps team. I don't like the Stamps team. Give me the minus 7. And you know what else? Give me the
What
over
else?
50. Give me the over 50.
Going over 50.
I'm going to go over 50.
Wow.
And if I'm cheeky with it, Eric, if I take, here's a fun little bet for you. Hamilton money line, BC minus 7, and over 50 as a little parlay plus 791.
Oh, Jim, you want me to give you one, Jimbo?
Give me one. Eric, it's been so long since we did that. It's been so long. I'm not even gonna do a teaser. Today.
God. All right. I am pulling up a book here. Clicking on football, North America, CFL. Here we go. Ooh, so on this one, we're going to take BC minus 6.5.
Ooh.
We're going to take under 47.5 in Montreal and Hamilton. And then we're going to take Hamilton plus 4.
Oh, I like that.
That is
beast.
juicy. Plus 591.
Attaboy, Eric. Okay, before we move on to the beautiful league that is the X League, let's take a look at these futures real quick.
Ooh.
I'm seeing one that jumps out to me since I know you picked them. BC Lions at plus 650.
I like that. I like that one a lot. I really like that one a lot.
So, obviously, like Toronto plus 110, Bombers plus 150, then it's Lions plus 650, Alouettes 12-1, Ticats 14-1, Stampeders 20-1.
I would take, excuse me. Yeah, I take BC.
That's the only one I really like. I know I called Hamilton to make it. If they had to make the Grey Cup still, I'd probably bet Hamilton, but I just don't trust them winning.
Right.
When it's all on the line. But I don't mind that BC bet. There is some value there because I think they're much better than Calgary, and I think they can obviously have a shot to upset.
I think
Toronto.
Winnipeg's going to come down to whoever has the ball last. To be honest with you,
what's one of my favorite sports sayings?
Whoever has the ball last.
Yeah, like I hear on podcasts and shows all the time, and I love it.
Mine's win with margin.
Eric, you've got me on that. This year, it's quickly rising in the ranks.
Win with margin, or my new one is like, who is he to be laying points in the road?
Oh yeah, I do love it when you say that.
Yeah,
Eric, it's weird to say, it's the last week of the regular season of the X League. Okay. 5 weeks. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But here it is. Whatever. Acai Beverages, Nojima. Who's winning that game, Eric?
What's the spread on it, buddy?
Acai minus 4.5.
I'll take the dog. I don't know. I'll take the favorite.
Dentsu Caterpillars, Tokyo Gas. Tokyo Gas is a 3.5 point favorite here.
I'll take the favorite, dude. Favorites covering these, buddy.
Obic versus Panasonic. Banger game. Game of the week. Panasonic minus. It's at home. Panasonic minus 3. Straight up 3.
Take Panasonic.
I think I will too. Acai Beer, Elecom Kobe. I'm going to give Elecom minus 5.5.
I'll take the I'll take the I'll take the dog.
Take the dog. Deers versus the Fukuoka Suns. I'm going to give the Suns a 1 point favorite. Suns minus 1.
Dude, we got to go with our Deers, buddy.
Oh, I'm rolling with the Deer straight up. IBM Fujitsu. I don't know. Fujitsu minus fucking 30.5.
I'll take yeah. I'll take
I'll
the
take
dog.
Fujitsu to cover. I don't care how big the spread is in any of these games. So 5 weeks, I don't get it.
And then when do the playoffs start?
So so obviously I'm going off of the CFL's website, so everything's translated from the X League's website, so everything's translated from Japanese. There's a replacement match, which I believe means so they do regulation or what? What does the Premier League do?
The Premier League?
Like how teams can elevate and
Like
relegation. That's what it's
you're
called.
Yeah.
It's called relegation. So I think the X League does relegation as well, where teams can move up and down from their different leagues. So I think they play that, where the worst team in the X League Super plays the best team in the lower tier league,
Mm-hmm.
and they can kind of swap a little.
Okay.
And then there's the RBT, which I believe is the semifinals, and then they play the Rice Bowl.
Okay.
But I'm looking back, like in 2019 they did 7 weeks. So I don't know. I don't know what's changed. Maybe I've changed, Eric.
I think you've changed, buddy.
Maybe I've changed. No, the league's definitely changed. I don't know if it's for the better. But I'm going to watch it. I know Eric's not going to watch it because he's going to be way too late at night.
Hey, buddy, you know what? Uncle Reed, even though I only sleep about 5 a night,
You need your beauty sleep.
That 10 to 3, 11 to 4, that's precious time.
Well, you're not watching any of these Saturday games because we got to be up early for fucking the tailgate, baby. Make sure everyone tunes in. 8:30 a.m. God's time, Central Time for the college football tailgate. Eric, before we sign off, is there anything else you'd like to let the people know?
No, just check Jim and I out on the tailgate. Stuff's been going pretty good. It's been a pretty good season in college football. You can see me have an aneurysm when Jim gives his teaser.
Oh, yeah. And Eric, if you specifically watched the Picks Porch on Friday, I got one for you that's going to give you a real aneurysm. Y'all know where to find me, XFL Jim everywhere. All I want to lead off with is I just want some news. Good or bad, I just want some XFL, USFL merger news. I'm fiending for it. I've been shaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alex Malkow, we will sign off with fuck Michigan. Goodbye, everybody. We love you. We'll see you next week.